Okay, the purpose of this video is to go over the parts of the machine and the controls so you can get acquainted with the different terminology that we use. The main part of this laminator and any laminator is the rolls, the main rolls. And you've got two rollers on here, the top roll and the bottom roll, or we may call it upper and lower. And the most important thing about those rollers is not to get any cuts in them. So GFP provides you with a special knife called a zippy knife, and this is a safety knife that will allow you to cut right next to the roller without doing any damage to it. So you don't want to use any knife with an open blade anywhere near these rollers. Next, you're going to see the supply shafts. The supply shafts lift in and out of the brackets just like that. It's a little bit hard to see from this angle, but there's one on the top and one on the bottom. And then on the supply shafts you have the brake assemblies, and those are how you get your tension, and they tighten by turning clockwise and loosen by turning counterclockwise. The next thing is the rewind or take up. This one's actually got the cardboard tube on it when you get the machine. It does remove by spring loading to the side, and this is a little bit hard to get on and off. It has to be because it can get heavy. That comes off like that, and then the cardboard tube will slide off if you need to replace it. Okay. There are a couple other bars here. The top one here is actually part of the mechanism that raises and lowers the rollers. You'll see on the side here where it says up and down. That has to do with the gap and pressure setting on the main rollers. This bar is not to be used in the laminating process. You'll see on the machine you'll have a threading diagram over here, and nowhere on this diagram does it show the film going over or under this roller. It does not come in contact with it. That's more a part of the inner workings of the machine and doesn't really have to do with the laminating process. You'll also see another bar here, and that is a safety bar, simply to keep you from getting too close to the roller and getting your fingers stuck. You've also got an emergency stop button right here. If anything goes wrong while you're operating the machine, you can press that button, cuts all power to the machine, and then when you're ready to go back again, you can just twist it and it will pop back up. The machine also does come with a 5mm Allen. This is going to be used to remove and replace the brake assemblies when we're changing material on the supply shafts. Your controls, the main power is in the back here. You have a run switch, makes the machine run. Foot actually makes it stop, and then you have a foot pedal that takes over control from there. You have forward and reverse. Most of the time you're going to be running in forward. Reverse is going to be used to most of the time remove materials from the machine. And then you've got a speed control here. The feed tray raises and lowers on this unit, so if you need to get to the bottom roll, it raises up and down, and it does have a lock right here. You can release the lock by pressing the red. There is a 1 amp fuse in the back of the machine should you need to change it, and the stand, if it's been assembled properly, will have locking casters on the front wheels. There are a few things that you're going to need that are not included with the machine. Number one is a utility knife. Again, you don't want to use this anywhere near these rollers. You're going to need some masking tape. I usually like to have a 1-inch and a 2-inch roll available, and a tape measure for aligning materials.